Hey everybody, I'm DeoGenZ. Welcome back to my Pokemon Black walkthrough. On the last episode, we got the Sea Gear from Fennel, gave her the Dream Mist, and learned a bit more about Team Plasma. Does that Pokemon look familiar to you guys? I don't know, I haven't seen it in this 5th gen yet. I wonder. The pointy ears and tail reminds me of someone, but I guess we'll have to figure that out later. Today we're going on Route 3, and in the last episode I would talk a bit more about the Sea Gear, and I will. But not before talking to this kid. I'll run, you gonna chase me? You run, am I gonna chase you? Change your perspective and it changes the reality. Very deep 4-year-olds right there. So, what is Sea Gear? Sea Gear is pretty freaking awesome, guys. It is one of the main reasons I recommend everybody who has a DS or will be getting a 3DS picks up Pokemon Black or White. Sea Gear really connects people in a big way, and it makes things so much easier to do. It has a lot of quick button features like getting into battles, trading on the fly. And what do I mean by trading on the fly? Well, in the old games, if you're not experienced with Pokemon, you had to walk all the way back or fly when you got the ability to, all the way back to a Pokemon Center, rearrange your Pokemon, and then trade with somebody or battle. Now this could be especially annoying if you're, say, at a Pokemon event, like a live one at Toys R Us or GameStop, and other Pokemon fans are in the area. By the way, she will re-heal your Pokemon. So, this Sea Gear, what it'll do, it will allow you to wirelessly trade and battle people, and also the IR features within the cartridge, which are not used for the Pokewalker, which was what IR was used for in the last Pokemon games, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but instead they trade interesting bits of data with each other. Things that we're going to be coming across later in Castelia City, so I'm going to leave that for when we arrive in that area. But very cool things are traded seamlessly through the IR. And it's a lot like Spot Pass, which is pretty cool because I said this before in an article I wrote for GamersCast, how Pokemon Black and White is really bridging the gap between the DS and the 3DS. So people who might not necessarily say, I don't know if I want a 3DS right now because there doesn't seem to be many games on it, or I don't want the 3DS because it seems like the Spot Pass feature is kind of useless, you can get a taste of that in Pokemon Black and White. Now, when the Pokemon Global Link comes online, you'll be able to trade, or not trade, but send your game data into the site, and that will connect up with a whole bunch of things that I'm not even sure about. And the reason I'm not sure about it is because they're doing a complete revamp on the site, and they've been kind of hush-hush about it. But I'm sure that all the features that are going to be there are pretty freaking badass. It's things like battle rankings and trade status, but I definitely think that the on-the-fly trading and battling is definitely the coolest. Now, somebody in one of my past videos... Oh, wait, Sharon! DeoGenZ, stop! We both have a trio badge, so let's see which of us is stronger. You know what, Sharon? I hate to burst your bubble, but it's still me! So anyway, what's really cool about the battle box... Oh, I didn't even say, but I jumped ahead of myself. I thought about it, but didn't even say it. But somebody said in the past video, could you explain the PC a bit better? And the one thing that I guess I could expound upon is the battle box. And the battle box is a roster of 6 slots that you can set up and put any number or any combination, excuse me, not any number, you only have 6, but any combination of Pokemon that you want in there to battle. So say you're exploring in the Unova region and you're just going after some legendary Pokemon, but for example, like me, this coming Saturday I'll be going to the 3DS launch. So if anybody else is going to be out there, make sure you bring your Pokemon Black and White games, because I will have mine, and I'll definitely have it on sleep mode so I can trade data with you guys seamlessly. But the cool thing is, I won't have to leave my adventure. I won't have to do anything special for that. All I have to do is just set up the battle box. And what that is when you go into a wireless battle through the C gear, which it's all accessible on the bottom screen through tap, touch, and all that goodness. And I guess I could show that off in another episode, but it's really not too vital. Plus, I can't show anything off in the emulator for real because it's not connected to anybody. But it's pretty cool because I will never have to leave my adventure just to go to a Pokemon Center, just to set up a trade or battle. And trading's even simpler because you don't even have to set up a trade box. It just allows you to access your PC, your entire PC, and trade whatever Pokemon you want on the fly. It's so seamless, it's so excellent, and it's one of the best features of Black and White. So that's C-Gear in a nutshell, and if you guys have any more questions about that, feel free to post below. As the Pokemon Global Link premieres on March 30th, which I guess is this Sunday, right? Is this Sunday? I believe so. And I will definitely be talking about that more in future episodes, like what kind of things you can do on there. For one, you can access the Dream World, and the Dream World, that is a whole nother ballgame. And I realize I said that in my white walkthrough, my Japanese white walkthrough, I would go into the Dream World, but I realized that it was kind of ridiculous because I couldn't read anything that was going on the Japanese Pokemon Global Link site. So to show you guys would be kind of pointless, especially when I realized that there were other YouTubers out there who beat me to it and did quite a fantastic job. Now, if you'd like some links to that, just PM me and I will show you those videos, but really, it's only a couple days more that you guys have to wait, and then I will show you full hand what you can do in the Dream World. We have the same number of badges, but I still suck! Yeah, that's because I'm a better trainer. Just because you beat an elemental monkey doesn't mean you can beat DeoGenZ. What's that now? Team Plasma, where were they going? Bianca, why are you running? Be funny if she fell flat on her face. Hey, were those people headed? That way, but why are you running now? Oh, seriously? They run so fast. I think it's humorous how they make Bianca sound like a valley girl. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Don't cry. Bianca, really? Why were you running? You have to hear this. Those people stole this girl's Pokemon. You should have spoken up sooner. DeoGenZ, we're going to get that Pokemon back. Bianca, please stay by the girl's side. Well, if she doesn't have any more Pokemon with her, I think she's pretty safe. Team Plasma wants to liberate Pokemon. They don't want to beat up on little girls. They only want to beat up on Munas, apparently, for Dream Mist. Again, I will say this. The dynamic of the evil team in this game really, really gets my mind turning. Because I agree with the idea of Pokemon liberation to an extent. But the method of which they go about trying to liberate Pokemon, I just don't think is right. I mean, who's to say if the Pokemon really have a bond with their trainer? I guess the friendliness meter would tell you that. But we haven't met the person who measures out friendliness. And I'm not exactly sure at the moment what town that's in. I believe it might be Nimbasa City. Yeah, it probably is, but once we get there, then we could find out if our Pokemon actually like what we've been doing with them. Getting their ass kicked with some gusts by a P-Dog. That's always going to remind me of Mampato. That's always going to be the mindset for me. In the back of my head, I'm always going to think the Japanese names. Yeah, but I really think it's interesting. Pokemon liberation. It's quite a thought. Nobody had really much to say about that whole Corsola episode, which was surprising to me. Maybe you guys never saw it because, I don't know, I guess it's kind of a classic by today's standards. And I don't really keep up with the anime at all, so I don't know what's going on these days. But I'm guessing the dynamic really hasn't changed much. This is Wellspring Cave. DeoGenZ, this bothersome bunch doesn't really listen to reason. That child cannot use a Pokemon to its full potential. Doesn't that make the Pokemon sad? It's the same thing for all your Pokemon, so hand them over now. Better yet, we'll just take them. Oh, really? I'd like to see you try, Team Plasma. Look at you, dressed in King Arthur garb. You think you're gonna take my Pokemon looking like that? Nah, not happening, friend. Okay, Fire Monkey. Show them my loyalty, or your loyalty to me. Burn! You know, I think it would be really interesting if they did come out with Pokemon Gray. I know the Nintendo company said, or not the Nintendo company, Pokemon company said that they're not making Gray. But, you know, that's right around the time that people were asking at the release of Black and White, is there going to be Gray? What do you think they're going to say? Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be Gray, in which it'll be an enhanced version where you can catch both Zekoram and Reshiram and experience Black City and White Forest all in one cartridge. No, they're not going to say that because they want you to buy Black and or White. But I still have a sneaking suspicion that we're not done with the Unova region, especially in 3DS. I really think there's some good potential there. But one interesting mechanic that I think they could add is if the Pokemon don't like you, perhaps they won't listen to you. Kind of like Ash's Charizard. It was funny too. I guess Ash's Charizard didn't really listen because it leveled up too quickly. Because technically that was... yeah, there was not really a trade that he had, but it wasn't his Pokemon to begin with. So theoretically it leveled up faster, right? I don't know, it's really hard to say because if the anime went by the game standards, then Pikachu would be superpowered by now. Not only do you fail to understand, but you actually fight for Pokemon. Fight to keep them. We'll show you our combined power and teach you that we're right. So there's more of them. So self-righteous. DeoGenZ, we've been friends our whole lives, even though I don't remember it, but okay. We've got each other's backs on this one. Now we'll get into another double battle. Yep, double battles are really not anything novel, unless you've never played a Pokemon game. But if you've never done it before, it's pretty fun. Things that you have to consider that you wouldn't normally consider in a regular standard one-on-one fight are your moves, not so much aiming at Pokemon. And when I mean aiming, I mean triple battles, which we'll get into later. Actually, I think that once I get my Pokemon, I want to start really going faster as far as speed-wise, going through the game story mode in my cartridge game, just so I can start showing off some 3D, some 3-on-3 matches and some rotation matches, so you guys can understand what that's all about. But with 3-on-3 battles, not rotation battles, it's very particular on where your Pokemon is placed. If he's all the way on the left, he can only attack the left and middle Pokemon of your opponents. If he's all the way on the right, he can only attack the right and middle. And if he's on the center, I believe he can attack anyone. But with double battles, things you have to consider are moves like Earthquake, because Earthquake, it shakes the whole world. It shakes the entire field that you're battling on. Whether it's inside my house destroying my room, or inside this Wellspring Cave. And obviously you wouldn't have Earthquake that fast in the game, but if you were cheap and traded over Pokemon with Earthquake, you'd have to consider it. And later on, if you get into a double battle, that's important too. Plus, in the next episode, we're going to see some cool feature that will involve double battle. So with double battles, really the thing you have to focus on is the moves. And there's things like Helping Hand, which are specifically designed for double battles, and that boosts your opponent, or not your opponent, but your companion Pokemon's morale or something. I'm actually not sure the immediate effect of Helping Hand because I never use it. I really don't use those supporting moves because I feel that they waste time. Usually I just go for EV training and hit them hard and hit them fast strategy. Okay, so they're going to give us back the Pokemon. Otherwise we'd give them another smackdown and we wouldn't let them leave this cave. Someday, you'll open your eyes to our ways. Trainers bring out their Pokemon's strength. Pokemon believe in their trainers and respond to that. I don't understand what about that makes Pokemon suffer. How about the part where you beat the crap out of them and then chuck balls at them? Perhaps that is what is making them suffer. Alright guys, well, we've come to the end of this video, so I'll see you in the next episode.